guys, today I'm going to talk about taking body measurements. Now there's a few reasons you'd need to take some body measurements, and that could be that you're making a garment for yourself, that you are a tailor and you're looking to make for somebody else, or that you're handing over your measurements to a designer or a tailor and they're going to make something for you. So there's an important tool that you'll need in order to take these measurements, and that will be a measuring tape. So you can actually use either side. You can measure in inches or you can do it in centimeters, whatever metric you prefer. Personally, I prefer to use the inches, but make sure you've got quite a nice pliable measuring tapes. Some of the ones that are a little bit stiffer won't go around the curves very well, so just make sure you've got something good there. The other tool I would definitely recommend you use while taking your measurements is a diagram. So if you can do a quick sketch, or if you've got a diagram you can get off the internet of the body, and then you can just mark up where we're going to take some of these measurements and keep that as your point of reference. And then as things change, if you get closer to fitting the garment, you want to change them, then you've got a reference point, and then obviously you can use those measurements again and again. So the first measurement that we want to take is from the shoulder down to the bust, the waist and the hips. Some people have got slightly longer torsos, some shorter, and then the bust point may sit at a slightly different place for each person. So if you're looking to make a really fitted garment, these are really important measurements to take. So I'll show you how to do that. So at the base of the neck, this is where you're going to start the shoulder measurement. And then you take that down, just going over the largest, the fullest part of the bust. And then for me, see which point it meets the bust, and that is at 9.5 inches on this particular model. And then you keep going further down with the curve of the body, and then the waist meets 15.5. And then the upper hips are 18.5 on this particular one, and then the lower hips is 22. So you can go ahead and mark those points on your diagram. So the next 4 measurements we're going to take are around the body. So we'll take the measuring tape and we'll go round to the fullest part. So this will be the bust. Make sure your measuring tape is straight at the back as well. So we're taking it over the fullest part, and this one is 37 inches. Now the second one is the waist. This is an interesting one because a lot of people tend to think their waist sits here, which is actually nearer to your hip point. The waist is usually the smallest part, so if you can tell your client or for yourself is to actually put their hands around the smallest part of their waist, and that's where you can take the measurement. This is particularly important for making really fitted garments, so that you get that nice shape around the body. So yeah, so let's take that one on this particular mannequin, and for this one that is 26.5. And then the hips, so this one here is 31.5, and again that hip measurement should be taken pretty much where your hip bone is. Now the difference between the hip and the lower is you're going across on the lower at the fullest part of your bottom. So this mannequin doesn't have much of a bottom, but this is as well as this will get, so it's a bit like me. So what we'll do is we'll take that round, and that will be the fullest part. So this one is 36. So now we've done our shoulder to the length, and then we've done the bust, we've done the waist, hips, lower hips. Depending on the top that you're looking to get made, the length of the top, you must take the measurement from the shoulder. So if you're looking to get a top made which is more of a crop top, you might want to stop it just under the bust, say at around 14 inches. Now this doesn't sit in the waist or the bust area, so you will have to take a separate measurement around this area if you're looking specifically for a crop top that's quite short. If you're looking for something longer, then of course then go down to the waist if you wanted to, and if you're looking to make a dress or a chemise, then of course take that even further down to the desired length. So the next measurement to take is the neckline. So this can be done in a couple of different ways, but the main way that most tailors tend to use is from the shoulder point. You measure coming in to the center front. So this line here is your center front point, and you see where that meets. So this top neckline we've got here is 4.5 inches, but say I wanted a much deeper V, then I would bring it to 10 inches, which is quite a low neckline. So you could obviously make any variations between that. Now that's the point, is in that will indicate the lowest point, and of course whatever shape you make here can be whatever shape you desire, whether it's a crew neck, square neck, a V-neck, that's totally your choice. There's an important measurement to take for tops around the shoulders. So mainly at the back of the shoulders. I'm quite broad on my shoulders, so I tend to be a bit wider here than your average size 10 or 12. So it's important to check that one as well. So this is a measurement that you can't really take by yourself. And in fact, I would probably advise, if you are making a garment for yourself, you actually get somebody else to measure you. Otherwise it can be quite difficult to get them correctly. So let's have a look at the shoulder to shoulder measurement, the back. So here we go from the shoulder point all the way to the other shoulder. This one is 14.5. Now what this really indicates is the panel that you're going to cut for the back is going to be that wide. So actually it's quite good. I'm actually wearing a top here today which has got seams in the shoulder, so you can see them there. So what it indicates is that particular part is going to be cut to this width. So you can see at the back it will be from this seam all the way across to this one here. So that's what you're actually measuring going across the back. Now in front there is a cross front measurement as well. So again, that will involve the seams of the shoulders. So from here to here, and then going across that front section. So that will be from here to here, and that is about 13.5. And just to indicate that on an actual garment, what you're measuring is from this point to this point. So now you've got two measurements for this top section, the back, and you've got the front section here as well. Okay, so if you're looking to put sleeves into your garment, there's a couple of measurements we need to take here. So first one will be the underarm, going all the way round. You'll need the bicep, elbow, and the cuff. And the last one would be from the shoulder all the way down to the length of the sleeve that you desire. I'm going to have to do this one on myself to indicate. So what you can do is taking it from the very top of the shoulder. So again, I've just used the seam of this top as a guide all the way down, and you can kind of walk that down. Not ideal, which is why I would probably say take somebody else to do yours. This one sits at about 22.5 inches. Your underarm, so start from the top here and then take your measuring tape all the way around, bring it back to the top, making sure it doesn't slip off the shoulder. Now mine is a measurement of 16. Now what you need to do is make sure that that's comfortable, that it's not too into your underarm. And if you're making a sleeveless garment, this can be a bit looser, so actually it sits around here, a bit lower. If you're making it with sleeves, you can probably go a little bit smaller. So this is 16 inches. And then for the bicep, take it round just at this point where you've got your underarm here, go right across, and this is the part that we're going to take. So this is like the wider part. So again, not the best one to be taking on your own, but just for your information. So for me, that's 11 and a half. And then while we've got the measuring tape there, we can just shimmy it down. So at the elbow, we are 10 inches. So don't forget, elbows bend. So if you are making your garment in a woven fabric that's not stretch, I would probably just bend your arm a little bit, add a little bit of ease in there, and that'll probably take to about 10 and a half. So just add something in there if you want a little bit more room. And in fact, you could probably add that all the way through. If we have a look at the cuff area, so here we are at about 7.5 to 8 inches. But of course you have to make sure you can get it on and off. So what I would say is 8 inches is quite a good one, and then you can actually take that garment off with that particular measurement. So just be mindful of that when you're measuring your cuff area. So that's all your measurements for a top. And if you put all of your measurements onto your document, then you've got a reference point, which is great. And you can add ease in wherever you want. So we've taken, if you're making the garment according to your exact measurements, then you're going to get a nicely fitted garment. If you wanted to make something that had more of a relaxed fit, you could just add an inch onto your measurements. I hope you guys found this video useful. Please like and subscribe, and there'll be loads more to come. I will also be doing a video on how to do measurements for trousers and skirts as well, so that will be coming up soon.